What's going on, gentlemen? Lawrence of Asia coming at you here from Bali, Indonesia, and I'm here in one of my Japanese villas. And this place is pretty awesome, actually. Let me just show you what the view looks like when you wake up. This is my bathroom. This is one of my villas here, out of about 10 that I have in my portfolio. And this is what it looks like when you wake up. Check that out. So you wake up and you're in the jungle, all green. Got the butterflies. It's quite precious. So, gentlemen, hope everyone's doing well. I am just getting started this morning. I just had my coconut. And yeah, gentlemen, try as we may, when you build a life and you do everything you can for the female, for a wife, for your family, and you're treated with indifference or lack of appreciation or hatred, it gets tough. Ultimately, though, gentlemen, we cannot find our value in another person and the validation of the female or the female validation in us. Too many men try to hold on to things that are hurting them. It's the abusive mother complex. When a woman is hateful and disrespectful to you, gentlemen, and you don't deserve it, you got to let that go. You got to walk away. If something's tearing at your soul and it's hurting you, if you can't sleep, it's time to find solitude, like I'm doing now, and regroup. That's just how it goes. Men have had enough. Men have had enough of the ultra entitlement from women these days. These days, women are so entitled and so spoiled. And perhaps they've always been this way, but they're not willing to admit any fault. And this hits a point in the road where men have been abused for so long that eventually they just go numb. You guys know Tongkat Ali, right? Tongkat Ali. Tongkat Ali. Tongkat Ali. Tongkat Ali, my man. Tongkat Ali is it's meant to raise testosterone. Now, I don't know how an herb raises your testosterone. Is it pulling from the blood, the bone? Is it harnessing and transmuting something else in the body to create the testosterone, thereby leaving you weak in another way? Taken from the bone marrow, perhaps? I read somewhere, and it may have been in some Chinese medicine or something, that when a man ejaculates, right, and let's say a man ejaculates and then a man's going to ejaculate again a couple minutes later even, that the body will actually pull immediately from the bone marrow. The body will pull from the bone marrow to create that semen, thereby leaving a man weak. Something to think about. I really need some water. You've got to put your own sanity first, gentlemen. You've got to put your own well-being first. If you're not well, how are you going to serve those around you? How are you going to serve your children? You know, disrespect these days has just gotten out of hand. So common. So unfortunate. I reckon I myself am fortunate to be able to come here and place myself in such a retreat, so to speak, just a tranquil environment. It's incredibly peaceful here, gentlemen. Incredibly peaceful. You can probably hear the fountain in the background. It's incredibly peaceful. Got butterflies flying around right outside. Right now. It's precious. It's interesting. I was coming from the city. I'm waking up every morning and I can see buildings and a hazy sky every morning in Kuala Lumpur. And I like Kuala Lumpur. But there's something so precious about waking up in nature. 100 shades of green. It's absolutely precious. Got the sound of the fountain there in the background as well. Again, butterflies, insects flying around. So many butterflies here. It's crazy. Look at the jungle, gentlemen. Let me show you some of the coconut trees and the palm trees here. So you can see coconut tree, 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 coconut tree. You can see some gentlemen here in the background building a really big structure. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 stories right there. And you see the little house right next to it, the small one, not the big white one next to it, but the small house right there next to it. That's also my Airbnb there. That's a 2-bedroom spot. Check out the jungle though. This is Bali, and this is Ubud. This is an area called Kaliki. And Kaliki is where I have all my properties but one here in Bali. Now, I don't own these properties. I rent them all, and then I put them back up on Airbnb. And this one just happened to be empty. Having some troubles with the reviews and so forth, so I put it, I had just relisted it. No booking, so came here to stay myself. Kitchen's over that way. There's my coconut I just had. You can see the butterfly flying by here. Another coconut tree. Yeah, it's just it's a peaceful environment. No doubt about that. It's incredibly peaceful. So, you know, gentlemen, suicide rates, gentlemen, are so high, right? I know, my own father took his life in 2014. God bless his heart and rest his soul. And you know what it is, gentlemen, is that we put our self-worth, our own well-being, in the hands of a woman, in the idea, the dream of the family. And what I keep realizing is that how important it is to find that wholeness with or without a woman. There's also another very important component as well. All the ancient philosophers talk about it. It's in the religious texts as well, and it's really the big one. And that's overcoming lust. If one is stuck on lust, one is a slave. You either master lust, or you're mastered by lust. So you're a slave. It's important to take time on one's own. That alone time can be painful. But one has to protect one's dignity, has to protect one's soul, one's heart. You can't serve a family if you're broken. And if a woman can't find it in herself to respect you, gentlemen, it's okay to walk away. Maybe you don't have to walk away forever. Maybe you do. Or maybe you just have to take some time. And that's okay. So that's my current situation. You know, I've had to take some time on my own, much needed. And I'm glad I did. You know, not every man could perhaps do what I do in the sense that they can just get away. I think about my own brother. If he wanted to take some time away from his wife, his girl, if she was being abusive per se, he has nowhere to go. He can go to a hotel, but he's paying $100 a night. And it gets expensive, right? So it's not as easy to have one's freedom or one's sanity based upon where you're living. I flew here, you know. I mean, I paid $180 for a round trip ticket to just come here for a couple of days and find my peace, find my solitude. Much needed. So I feel for you guys, you know, if you go through it with women. It's like, to care, to not care, you know, to be indifferent. You know, I don't think you can really be indifferent when you have children you love. I don't think you can be indifferent. I think you'll care. But that's that attachment. And anytime you're attached, you have the potentiality to be disappointed, to hurt, you know. Ideally, going into a relationship, ideally for man or woman, one should be a whole self, complete. Not looking to go into a relationship to find completeness in that relationship. this is an ideal way of moving forward into a relationship. However, what happens in these relationships is over time we start to find our validation, fulfillment, and wholeness through the other person. We hand over our self-worth into the hands of another. This is a mistake. This is a grand mistake. This is really an unspoken assumption or rule of marriage, is that the two get each other's needs met. From each other, you know? It's like this dependency. I've been hurt so many times. I reckon most of you men as well, at least once or twice, right? And women. And I think it's very important to be able to step back and find one's place of wholeness, even when one is in a relationship. To do that on a regular basis. I think that kind of thing is important. So that when one is in a relationship, one can stand there with integrity and not lose oneself, not allow one's soul to become deadened. Yeah. If you're suffering, gentlemen, my heart goes out to you. Truly. Stay active and move. Get out there and move. Start walking, start going somewhere. Go travel somewhere or go for a walk. Do that to make things better. All right, gentlemen. God bless. Love you all. Stay sharp. See you in the next one. Peace.